All right, so I just saw the Mean Girls movie, and here's my review. Hi, I'm Jess. If you don't know me here, I went to school for musical theater, got a master's of fine arts. I also was a huge fan of the Mean Girls original movie and an extremely huge fan of the musical that was on Broadway. I saw it with the original cast. So good. Overall, I enjoyed it with some standout performances from Renee Rapp, of course, and Ollie. I actually saw Renee Rapp perform in Bryant Park when they do their free performances for Broadway, and I saw her perform it and ended up at Sweet Green after, and she was in line in front of me. It was really cool. I thought she was really amazing. She's stunning in this movie. The vocals are amazing. Her acting is really, really strong. And Ollie as well, I think vocally stand out, acting as well. Really, really enjoyed her. 2. So there's big differences between the original movie and this movie. First of all, if you don't know it yet, the new movie is a musical. It is basically combining the original movie and the musical. Now, the original movie, big difference here, is narrated by Katie's character. So you get a lot of inner monologue from Katie. This movie is like the musical, starts off with Janice and Damien telling the story. So the biggest thing that I want to compare this movie to is not like, oh, it's your classic musical movie, or it's just like the original. The thing this reminds me of is Glee. So I feel like they have explanations for why people are singing. It starts off with it being filmed on a camera. So people are filming for social media, and it's just expected that like all of the characters could be filming at any moment. They all have phones on them. It could be them selfie. It could be them filming action that's happening. And that gets sort of like integrated into the story. So love it or hate it, that's just one of the big ways that they explain why people are singing and how this is a musical. They're trying to make it realistic. But then there are also moments where they mix it in where it's like an actual performance, or it's the inner monologue dream sequence of a character. Social media performances, they're filming. There's also the incorporation of influencers, which was interesting. I honestly didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of smart. The scene where musicians are hiding in a tree and Janice breaks the fourth wall to tell them, hey, pause. I think those moments are unnecessary because by that point in the story, we're immersed. We get it. It's a musical. You don't have to keep explaining it to us. So there's moments like that I thought were kind of weird. But other explanations, the stupid with love dream sequence, as well as someone gets hurt becomes a huge sort of theatrical dream sequence. And even moments that in the original movie would have been a small sort of character building conversation, it turns into sort of a theatrical moment. So Apex Predator, love that song from the musical. They do it in this musical movie. Regina becomes the lion and she's the predator, and you just get a roar from her instead of the phone call that you would have gotten in the original movie. Regina pretending to be Planned Parenthood, calling that girl's mom saying, hey, I've got the test results, get your daughter on the phone. And then the girl runs off crying. So moments like that were missing because it was taking the musical's perspective on it, the musical approach. There are many direct lines from the original movie. So if you're someone who's a super fan of that movie, you might get the lines that you know and love. And there are some direct from the musical as well. They make some changes though. They adapt it for the screen. It's not just modernizing it. They adapt it to fit the fact that it's being filmed. So, for example, Regina has a line that's changed in a song because she talks about filters. My biggest heartbreaking thing about it is the music is completely different from the Broadway musical. So if you're a super fan of the Broadway musical, you will know, like me, that the orchestrations are completely different. And they're made smaller, sort of minimized to make it more cinematic. So I understand the reasons why, but for me, I miss the dramatic builds of songs. Stupid with Love, for one, especially was very understated, very under her breath. It's her dream sequence. So I feel they were teetering this, is it gonna be a big Broadway musical number? Or is it gonna be her private thoughts to herself, journaling, Mrs. Erin Samuels. it was like kind of both of those things, but neither of them at the same time. World Burn was really fantastic. I love Revenge Party, and I'm honestly still singing it in my head after leaving the theater, but I think it's because I know it from the musical. There were fewer moments of laughing out loud, and it was more just appreciating the performances and the music and the story being told that way. I feel like it just missed a lot of the quirkiness and unexpectedness that the original movie had because there weren't as many new jokes. There were new jokes, but for me personally, some of them didn't land. I think we could use a new version of this story because I think it's an important story. I think that like bullying is something that just, you know, it's still prevalent today. It was prevalent then. I think it always has been. And, you know, I would love if it weren't. And maybe with, you know, more stories like this being told, maybe it won't happen as much. Maybe people will, you know, see the light. And I love that about this, have always loved that about this story. So I think, yeah, the big question is, why did they make this? I think it's great that it got a refresh start, you know, different perspective. And I think that things are more up to date, you know, for it being appropriate for today's audiences, as well as up to date with social media and how that affects this whole story as well. Overall, I really enjoyed it. And obviously I had some critiques, but that's just me like being a super, super fan of the musical and analyzing it in that way. Let me know what you think. And I honestly, please go see it if you haven't seen it and I didn't spoil it for you already. And let me know what you think in the comments. So it was so much fun.